You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 298.1, our daily audio sports section for Central Indiana sports fans.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Central Indiana sports fans. Today is June 16, 2025. It's a Monday. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, podcasting today from headquarters in Jeffersonville. Just about an hour out from my root canal. Can't wait for that. Producer Susie's in the control room. Coming up, it was a big Sunday in sports. Monday is even bigger for local sports fans. Before we get all the scores, highlights, details, and sound bites from Sunday's big national sports day, I'm going to ask you to please go to our YouTube page and subscribe. That's all. Just do it. Also, we're going to have plenty of Pacers, Fever, and IndyCar coverage coming up in the next few days. Plus, high school boys golf is in the state finals, and we will have a scoreboard for you as soon as we can get to it on Thursday for sure, but maybe Wednesday and Thursday. We might do a scoreboard show between rounds 1 and 2. Depends on the time we have. Game 5 of the 2025 NBA Finals is this very evening in Oklahoma City. There's not a lot of news coming out of the finals, with two very businesslike and professional teams battling for the trophy. However, Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle did say during a press conference on Sunday, as the team met with the media, that it's unlikely that Jarris Walker will play in the finals. Not surprising news, although he did say that if he was able to play, he thinks he'd play a significant role. Let's hear from Coach Carlisle on Game 5. By the way, quick note, Coach Carlisle said during the press conference that the officiating had nothing to do with the Game 4 loss and that Scott Foster is not a villain in all this, and he is absolutely right. These conspiracies are stupid.
You look at it, you take it for what it is, and it becomes pretty clear the things that you need to do to be better. And our job, as a staff, is to take those things, simplify them, communicate them in a simple, concise way, and so that we can do better.
Also at Sunday's press gaggle, Tyrese Halliburton explained how the Pacers have rebounded from their previous 5 postseason losses with big wins every time.
Still a lot of games to be played. There's still a lot that can happen. I think once you get to the playoffs, I don't think it's so much about flushing things, because you really got to take every game, see where you did well, see where you could do better, and learn from that. So I think in the regular season it's different. You play 82 games, play a team game 10 that you probably don't see again until game 60, so it's just like, all right, flush it and move on to the next. In the playoffs, it's a little different. You don't really get the right to flush games. You got to learn from everything and watch the film and see where you can get better in every area. So, Game 4 didn't end the way we wanted it to, but the biggest thing is you can't let one spiral into 2. You can't take the disappointment of that game and let it be a snowball effect. It's you got to be ready to go for Game 5 here, and again, the hostile environment, and we're both 2 games away. So anything can happen from here, and so you just got to kind of move on as quickly as you can, see where you can get better, watch the film, which we've done a lot of over the last 2 days, have a good practice today, and get ready to go for tomorrow.
In the playoffs, the Pacers are winning games by an average of 18 points per game following losses. That is a good sign for Monday evening. Game 6 will be the final game of the year in Indianapolis Thursday night. The team that wins Monday can win the championship on Thursday. Game 7 would be in Oklahoma City, if necessary, on Sunday night. Right after this, a couple hours, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon, we will release our Pacers report with Mike Rich as 2 Pacers fans who go back to the 80s, being Pacers fans, preview game number 5. Also, on Monday evening, Mike and I will react to the Pacers game, win or lose, and we will have guests. I'm sure John Robertson and Will Rutherford, Michelle Garman will be with us, and we'll have plenty of others stop by as well. Also on Sunday in the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies traded All-Star Desmond Bane a former Indiana All-Star from Richmond, to the Orlando Magic, who look like they may be a future rival of the Pacers in the East. In return, Memphis received the 16th pick in this year's draft and 3 future unprotected first-round picks. This better work out for Orlando. If it somehow doesn't work out, those unprotected picks, man, I'm just saying, that could be bad. They better be good.
White flag, 1 lap to go until we see the advanced auto parts checkered flag, and Carl Kirkwood leads the way. The man who, other than Alex Palou, is the only driver to have won races this season.
Here comes Rasmussen. Here he comes.
Street tracks as Rasmussen does take a look at O'Ward, but O'Ward gets to the inside of Kiffin Simpson. It will be Kyle Kirkwood, who has only ever won on the streets.
Let's go,
no more. He is an oval winner. Kyle Kirkwood wins again. A phenomenal drive.
Kyle Kirkwood won his 3rd race of the season in Madison, Illinois, in a thrilling Bomberito 500 at the Worldwide Technology Raceway Gateway on Sunday night. It was the first oval win of Kirkwood's career. With several different strategies brewing, it was Andretti Global's call to bring in Kirkwood early for his final pit stop that paid off. He finished 0.6 of a second ahead of runner-up Pato O'Ward.
Man, the starts and the restarts were big, right? Like, that was absolutely huge. But we were not too happy with the car yesterday, and we had got some help from the teammates, made the car really good, and came home with, went on track with an amazing car. And in the beginning, I really didn't think that we had it, but as it got dark and it cooled down, this Honda and this Andretti Global Siemens 27 just came alive, right? And hats off to these guys. These guys killed it in pit lane. Awesome job. Everyone at Andretti Global, they deserve this. 3rd win on the year, man. That's incredible. My first oval win. I'm over the moon right now. Ovals have eluded me for a very long time, so it's nice to get that first one off and break that ice.
The race had 9 different teams in the top 10. Kirkwood for Andretti, O'Ward for McLaren, then Ed Carpenter Racing's Christian Rasmussen, Ganassi's Scott Dixon, Voigt Santino Ferrucci, Juncos Hollinger's Connor Daly was 6th, Renus VK of Coyne was 7th, before we get to our first repeat team with Ganassi's Alex Palou in 8th. The series points leader and defending series champion, Palou had a quiet night but managed to climb from 20th to 8th on the final stint. He now leads O'Ward by 73 points, Kirkwood 75 back. 14 different drivers led in the race, including 12 for multiple laps in what was a fantastic event under the lights in the suburbs of St. Louis. And as balance of things have been in IndyCar this year, only 2 drivers have won, Kirkwood and Palou. The official favorite driver of the Central Indiana Sports Report, Connor Daly, was one of those lap leaders. He led from laps 154 to 189 after passing O'Ward on the track to take the lead. He looked like a true contender until late in the race.
What a night. Love this racetrack. Really appreciate the team. Knew we had a great car as soon as we started. Hope people enjoyed the start. I haven't seen what it looks like yet, but I felt like I was having a lot of fun the whole night. Great to battle with Pato for the lead. Great to lead the race for a while. Really thought we had that one. But everything has to go perfect to win these IndyCar races, or you got to get really lucky. So hopefully Sunday we'll get one. But really appreciate Chevrolet and Mankind. InhaleMyInsulin.com. The Tire to Prick Chevrolet was super fast. And hopefully we'll get one sometime soon.
Dave Chanley, Heather Apt, Michelle Garman, Will Rutherford, and a newcomer to the crew, Elijah Poe, talked about the race when it ended. We posted that late Sunday night. Go check that out.
Just want to cozy it up. Don't need to make it. 2 putts.
Final round Sundays in U.S. Open history. J.J. Spaun closes the deal with a birdie at the last.
J.J. Spawn was steady amongst the tumult, rain, and wind all weekend at Oakmont near Pittsburgh and won the U.S. Open with a couple of clutch putts in the final few holes in Sunday's final round, including that spectacular 64-foot putt on the 18th hole that you just heard from Dan Hicks of NBC. Spawn had 4 birdies on the back 9 despite the wind and rain. They caused bad scores across the board, except for Scott Robert McIntyre, who went 4 under on Sunday. I think his round came just slightly before the wind and rain. He came from out of nowhere and finished second. Spawn had just one previous tour win and will now forever be a U.S. Open champion. He is from the L.A. area and from San Dimas High School.
San Dimas High School football rule!
And he has one win on the European Tour. He came into the tournament at 150-1 odds to win it. Norwegian Victor Høgland was third.
To the outside with Arston. And Luna just giving it right to him. Luna's got McGlynn for support. Tillman for support. It's Malik Tillman. And it's 2 for the United States.
That was the second goal for Malik Tillman in the Americans' 5-0 win over Trinidad and Tobago in the opening round of the Gold Cup in San Jose on late Sunday evening. Hoping to put the recent embarrassments behind them, the U.S. led 3-0 at the half, then added 2 more goals in the final 10 minutes of the match. Patrick Agumang, Brendan Aronson, and Haji Wright added goals in the win. Sorry, inside jokes. On Thursday, the Americans will play Saudi Arabia, which beat Haiti 1-0 on Sunday night. A win would secure a spot in the knockout round for the U.S. Kickoff is at 9:15 in Austin, Texas. The final pool play match is Sunday against Haiti. Play in the Gold Cup continues Monday with Panama versus Guadalupe and Jamaica against Guatemala. Louisville stayed alive and Coastal Carolina took control of Bracket 1 in the College World Series Sunday in Omaha. Louisville scored 6 times in the 8th after trailing most of the night in a 6-3 win over Arizona. And Coastal Carolina is the only unbeaten left in the bracket after beating number 8 Oregon State 6-2. On Monday, number 3 Arkansas and Cinderella Murray State will play at 2, with the winner leaving town. And at 7, either number 6 LSU or number 15 UCLA will earn a spot in the Bracket 2's final round, also known as the Final Four.
Hard in the air to left field, and that ball is gone. Wow. Ellie De La Cruz, sizzling line drive, home run to left field. His 3rd in the series and 4th straight game in which he's hit a home run.
First time in his career, Ellie has accomplished that task.
Every time we think that the Cincinnati Redlegs have turned the corner, the last couple of years, we've been wrong. It seems like the Reds have turned a corner again right now as the offense continues to produce against top-notch pitching. As you heard from Tommy Thrall and Jeff Brantley on the Reds radio network, Ellie De La Cruz homered again, his 16th of the year. He had 3 hits on the day and drove in 3 runs in Cincinnati's 8-4 win over AL Central leading Detroit. The Cubs beat the Pirates 3-2, and the Brewers took 2 of 3 from the Cardinals with a 3-2 win. So the NL Central looks like this as of Monday morning. The Cubs are 5.5 games ahead of defending champion Milwaukee, with the Reds and Cubs both 7 games back. The Dodgers won 2 of 3 against the Giants and now lead the NL West by 2 games. And apparently Shohei Ohtani will be pitching on Monday evening for the first time since 2023 against the rival Padres. He likely won't go more than an inning or 2 in his debut, but he will start. In the NL East, the Phillies made up another game on the Mets. New York's lead is down to 2.5 games. They led the Phillies by 5 at the end of April. In the AL, the Red Sox won 2 of 3 from the Yankees with a 2-0 win behind Brian Bellows' 3-hit, 8 strikeout performance. Rafael Devers hit his 15th home run of the season. Then after the game, was traded to the San Francisco Giants in what was considered a pretty stunning move. As of Monday morning, the Yankees lead the Rays by 3.5 games in the East. The Tigers are up 9 on the Twins in the Central. And the Astros are up 4.5 games on the Mariners in the West. We will have an MLB report sometime for you this coming week. Not sure when. I've got a root canal coming up on Monday, so who knows. The Fever will play their final Commissioner's Cup contest Tuesday at home against the Connecticut Sun. The game is scheduled for 7 and can be seen on NBA TV. This game's not till Tuesday. We will have more on that game and the Commissioner's Cup on Tuesday's Central Indiana Scoreboard show. On Sunday, Angel Risa of the Chicago Sky had her first career triple-double of 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. I really like her game. She's raw offensively, but she's got all the skills. She took just 7 shots to get the triple-double, made all 7 of her free throws, and also had 3 offensive rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocked shots, in Chicago's 78-66 win over the aforementioned Sun. And we will continue to have Fever coverage throughout the week, and we will have a Fever report with John Robertson and Michelle Garman coming up in the next couple of days. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final is Tuesday in Miami. The host Florida Panthers can clinch back-to-back cups with a win. Edmonton will try to force a Game 7 in pursuit of its first cup since 1990. Of course, the Panthers beat the Oilers 2-1 in Game 7 a year ago. There hasn't been much news since Game 5. The big news really is a question. Will Edmonton stick with Stu Skinner or turn to Calvin Pickard for Game 6? Game 6 is at 8 and can be seen on TNT or the Max app. A couple of quick news and notes. Shane Van Gissenbergen won his NASCAR debut on the streets of Mexico City on Sunday, and in Formula One, George Russell won in Montreal. New pals Mason Oglesby announced that he's been offered a scholarship from the University of Illinois. And incoming Noblesville senior CeCe Quigley has accepted a scholarship offer from the University of Lipscomb to continue her basketball career following this upcoming season. And the college basketball season starts 20 weeks from today. That's your daily update. Become a subscriber, follower, or whatever you do wherever you do it. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report at YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or SoundCloud if you'd like us to continue updating you every day. Thanks so much for listening. Please tell your friends, family, strangers, and even your enemies about the Central Indiana Sports Report so we can continue to grow and thrive. We humbly thank you in advance. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie. And go Pacers go.